Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're playing with another Final Fantasy deck. It's called All the Birbs because it's a bird tribal deck loaded up with Final Fantasy cards. It's a Bant deck, which is blue, white, and green. If that sounds good to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, the Pontifex Maximus of Magic Card Videos, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Filmed for our live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, posted by Kruger12, called All the Birbs. All the Birbs, because there are a bunch of Birbs in here. Birbs are all called Chocos. There's Chocobo, Choco, and Bartz, the Boko. Bartz and Boko. So Choco, Boko, I don't know. That's probably a thing in Final Fantasy. I did not play that game, so I don't know that. All right, so let's get down to it. Let's find out what this deck's about. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work, and then we're going to go out. We're going to crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got here today? We got this guy gets bigger every time you throw down a land. This guy can pretend to be something else. You can say be a copy of it, provided you have the mana to cast it, essentially. And it gets +1 or plus flying. Or you could just put him out by himself, and he could just be awesome that way. This was a what? He's a bird. He's got flash. When he enters, you can return a permanent you control to its owner's hand. So it's a defensive bounce. And he's got landfall, so he gets +1/+0 whenever you got landfall one time, right? And it'd be a 3/2. Shelter by Ghosts gets rid of an opponent's non-land permanent. Gives your guy +1/+0, lifelink, and ward 2. Valley Questcaller gives all of your birds +1/+1, so he's kind of a bird lord. And whenever you drop out a bird, you get to scry one, which is great. This one comes out with flash and gives a creature you control hexproof, so you can use it to protect things. So you can see we got some flash-based protection. Aven Interrupter plots, exiles target spell, plots it. So they could play it again on the next turn probably, but at least... Oh, but also cost them 2 more as well, so that's cool. It costs them even more. So good for us. Cost them even more. And so it just pretty much delays a spell for a while. But time is your friend. Plus you get a flying 2/2 dude, which is pretty awesome. And it's practically white haste. Traveling Chocobo. What does this guy do? When you look at the top card of your library anytime, you can play lands and cast birds. If a land or bird you control enters the battlefield, causing a permanent to be triggered, it triggers an additional time. So this guy is the synergy for this deck. If you got this guy out, all your stuff's going to trigger like crazy. Crazy. Choco, the Seeker of Paradise. Whenever one more birds you control attack, look at that many cards at the top of your library. You may put one of them into your hand and then put any number of lands from amongst them into the battlefield tapped. And then the rest in your graveyard. So this guy will put out lands like nuts. It's a little late because you got nothing really going on. But it's always good to have more like mana out, I suspect. Plus, you got tons of guys that have landfall abilities that usually pump them up. So this guy will help that. If you got lots of lands that show up and whatever you got pulling, yeah, I'll go crazy. Plus, he goes crazy with landfall as well. And Bartz and Boko, when his affinities, he comes out cheaper based on the number of birds you have. So you could probably play this guy for 2 or 3. It's a minimum of 2 because you have to pay at least for the 2 greens. But when he enters, each other bird you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. So you got enough birds out, you're going to slaughter something. Other than that, we got a nice collection of lands, bunch of duels, weird situations. You pick birds for a Cavern of Souls, and then you're on your merry way. All right, so what we're doing, we're putting out creatures early. We're going to be protecting our guys with some of the cards we got and countering spells so that things get delayed for a little bit. Maybe we'll have to sacrifice some guys, but we're going to do some good to cull their flock. While we get out good guys, pump them up with landfall, and take them down with a money ball kind of action. All right, so before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every day. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sheoldred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. Alright, playing against Stray 45, because Stray and Stray 01 through 44 was already taken. 23, good. This deck needs the mana. That guy's the first turn drop. 2, 3, 4. That's a good curve. Keep. I feel a sneeze coming. I feel it. Whew. All right. So I might want to shelter my Ghost, the Silent Hall Creeper, because that guy's a card draw engine. Yoink. And in for 2 with a little bit of life gain on the side. Alright, good for you, baby. Alright, this comes out untapped at the moment. I can use this guy. Let's just go ahead and just go in for what we got there. That's fine. We can protect him. Keep him better. The ward's doing a good job of it. Maybe should just trusted the ward. I'll tell you, I'll just throw my guy out regardless here in a second. Alright, we got lots of guys, so let's throw out Little Boy here. Valley Questcaller. And Seachrome Coast. Alright, he's down below 10. He's gonna have to start playing defense here. He can't. Yeah, we just lose it. There you go. Birds for the win. Birdie birdie. Fighting dirty. Victory. Rank up. Alright, we're playing against Vilar. Vilar, the ambitious Vilar. 1 mana? Nah, that's not going to do it. Let's mulligan that. That's a lot better. Keep. I'll tell you what. We'll hopefully pull up another mana along the way here sometime, right? That's kind of what we're looking for. All right, Squeaky Bird, get inside the pod. Oh, I put that out wrong. I put that... Wait a minute. I guess I needed green. I wasn't able to do it otherwise. Alright, come at me, brah. Alright, let's white up. And we're good. Let's let it go. Oh, let's see if we want to interrupt anything. Let's just force the plot. He had a whole nother one in his hand. All right, good for him. All right, it's not too annoying. So far, so good. I'm okay with the Squeaky Bird. What does this thing do? This game's indestructible. All right. Let's drop this guy. That's totally cool. Because we can use the Interrupter again in just a second. Put out our lands. And let's go for a little blood. There we go. I'm sorry, Squeaky Bird. I'm sorry. This is a vicious game. Things are going to happen. You gotta learn to chill out like Hubert over here. Here, I'll give you some Energon cubes. Negative. Let's delay his game. What does this thing do? Whenever it deals damage, you lose that much life. Nice. He transforms, huh? Ba-da-bum-ba-dum. Alright, so I want to pull non-lands. You're going to sacrifice it for that. Alright, good for you, baby. We'll pull our health one of these. He'll go a crazy town in a second. Up to 2. Alright, great. Ooh, that is excellent. Super pump. You want to block one? Go for it, man. Alright, he's down to 8. Oh, indestructible. Okay, crazy. Gotta get used to these new cards. He's transformed. Bird. That guy deserves to suck it. All in. We'll leave Choco back. Who do I want to put in my hand? I want to shelter by Ghost. We need a short circuit. What he's got going on there? Yeah, whatevs, man. Whatevs. It's down to 3. I will wait until my next turn before I throw out shelter by Ghost. I want to be able to pick something. And we win! There we go! Boom, boom! Goes the room. Boom, boom. Alright, playing against Dalamar. Alright, well, I can put down birds with these. It'll be fine. This is not a bird, though. Alright, cool. Alright, bird. Of course, I'm not putting out birds as soon as I start calling for birds, right? Don't be touching my lands. Alright, what do I need? A green. Alright, mana number 3 gets us where we want to go. Oh, I dropped it wrong. Need to put Choco out first. Yeah, okay, I'll do another land. That's fine. Well, we were playing this wrong, aren't we? And I'm blaming you. It's not me. Obviously, you should be telling me about the things that should be going on right now. See, this guy's cool because he'll protect my birds with a little bit of hexproof. He's going for the kill. Can I do it? Yeah, let's do it. Bump, 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 bump. Right there. Alright, that's going to come out slow. I can't really protect anything, so that's fine. Let's put another one of these guys. He's super cool. Everything gets buffed up. Mockingbird, sure. Sure. Alright, down below 10. That was a mighty hit. We got some money ball action going on. Hopefully there's no board wipes in the near future. We got a lot of beefy dudes, though. So as long as he's not going to wipe the board, yeah, that's fine. Whatever, man. Do your damage. I can Mockingbird some other cool stuff, which would be awesome. How much do you cost me? 2? Bird. 1, 2. Everybody's stronger. Everybody's better. Don't need that. I think I can just win the game now, so let's just do it. Nope. All right, there you go. Jump in front of it. Jump, jump. Jump. Jump it out. Pow, 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 pow. And we win. Winner, winner. Victory dinner. And we're playing against Mutuki. There we go. Mutuki. Keep. Nothing to do in turn 1 around here, but we can put out a guy for turn 2. Shelter by Ghost is pretty awesome. Got the ability to bounce. This guy will get cheaper as we get more birds out, which of course we have none right now. All right, there's 3. Let's just take it in. All right, we got to Aven ourselves out, see what he tries to cast here. Let's delay his game. Bird. All right, I'm going to go Choco. Choco. Sure, 1 mana is good. I think I might have been able to put this out directly, but I just played it wrong. I got to get used to how to play Choco. Ooh, wanted to go ahead and have to steal this guy with a Shelter by Ghosts. All right, play this way straight up. I could go full Bartz on this case. We could just shoot it straight up. Let's do that. Kill him! All right, and in we go. And we win! Suck it, suckerfish! Suck it! All right, playing against Roman 186. Chocobo. Oh, you can play with your own Chocobo at this point. All right, great. All right, drop it. Get it pumped. Put out a guy. Make him even better. And all in. Nice. We totally clobbered him. All right, I need 3 for what he's going to do there. So let's just, I need 2 whites. So bird up. All right, let's see what he does here. I'm going to use the Aven Interrupter to slow things down for our friend here. Yoink. Another land? All right, that's cool. Well, look what it is. It's another land. I'm going to go full... Should I put Chocobo out? Let's put that boy out. Let's do that. Yep. I'm a big fan of the Aven Interrupter in this particular deck. It's really good. Oh, let's see. Let's send in Flying Boy. So next to combat. He's down to 6. Sure. Yep. All right, don't wipe the board. You kind of have to, you got to put out another card. You got to try to flood some dudes out. I've only got, what, one flyer? That's good for you. That is not good for you. There you go. That's pretty decent. Alright, so the big problem here is that guy's too big. Well, that's good, you pinned it all on one guy. Can I undo that? Control Z? Nope. Bird, let's do that. That's fine. Not going to help me at all? Let me draw some cards. This is probably the better idea, though, I'm thinking. Let's just go for it. Let's just go and... No math it. No math! Alright, he's down to 2. We got a flyer we can flash out on this next turn. And then we could throw a big boy there. Don't be gaining life. Like I said, I don't even care if you do damage to me at this point. It's weird that there's birds that don't fly. What's going on with you, Chocobo? Oh, I should have bounced. Ah, what was I thinking? I was thinking too much about Chocobo over there. That was my problem. There you go, there's a flyer. And here we go. And we win! In your face, Davy Jones! In your face! Alright, so here we are with All the Birbs. All the Birbs. Somebody came up with that name, wasn't me. And yeah, it was Bird Tribal, and it was really good. It was really good. What did I end up with? I ended up with a 78% win rate. That is fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, what can we say about this deck? I mean, the weird part about this deck, it is just tons of creatures. And the only non-creature we have is Shelter by Ghosts, which is probably the best thing from Duskmourn right there. So, what I liked about it was that you had a lot of flash guys, like the Aven Interrupter, and you had the Plumecreed Escort, and who else was flash? Seemed like Ambrosia Whiteheart was flashy, right? So you had some of that tricksy play that makes the game kind of fun, even though we didn't have instants. You know, we had flash creatures that we had. One thing that was great about that is that not only do you get the effect, but you also get a creature out at a time that your opponent's not expecting it, which lines them up perfectly for being able to attack on the next turn. Plus, these guys were very, very Moneyball. What's the point about Moneyball? You want your guys to come out, they have to have some sort of ability, like evasion, essentially. Haste is okay, flying's good. You want them to have a power of at least 3 and to cost you no more than 3 mana. This guy usually does not cost you 3 mana because he's got affinity for birds. All the rest of your stuff is 3 or less, and these guys get bigger as they go, pretty quickly, as a matter of fact. So 2's not bad, 3's best, and this feels very Moneyball when you play it. Because the deal is, once you start swinging in with 3 or 4 guys, you're taking out half their life in one turn. You're hitting for, if let's say you had 2 2s and 2 3s, what is that? That's 10 points straight up right there. So as long as you guys are cheap, they're flashing in. That's the thing, is flash is practically haste. You're getting it out there before your opponent, at the very end of the turn, so they can't do anything out of it. They probably don't have any mana, and then your guy's ready to go with an attack straight up on that next turn. So you guys practically have haste when you're playing with flash. A few of them have flying. It's surprising for a bird deck how many don't have flying. But then you're also playing with, this one sends things back to be plotted, so it's a pseudo counter spell. This thing bounces things back to your hand, keeping them protected. You can replay them. This thing gives them hexproof. Yeah, it's great. The weirdest guy I'm not a big fan of is probably Mockingbird. I think I lack the imagination for it. Let's put it that way. I probably lack the imagination. But anyways, altogether, it was a great deck. Really good. So let's get down to it. Who is the MVP? Who's the most valuable player? I gotta say, it was Aven Interrupter. This was the card I was looking forward to the most because it's kind of a counter spell. It comes out, it delays your opponent from doing something that it's trying to do. Plus, you get a flying 2/2 out. So that's a weight haste, essentially. A lot of times you can put them out to block, which will kill something if they think they're going to sneak in on you. Yeah, I think it's the Aven Interrupter. This guy has the most value, not bad for cost, and has tremendous impact on what's going on. 4 of them in the deck, absolutely. I would try to dig for these things all the time. Aven Interrupter is my MVP of this particular deck. Congratulations, Mr. Interrupter. You are going to Disneyland. All right, let's see. Was this deck competitive? Like I said, I got a 78% win rate. So yes, this is a competitive deck. Competitive. I played it on ranked. I played it casual. It did really good across the board. Big time. Maybe that people just don't know what to do, but I think it's because it's a wide card. A wide deck that people don't really know what to do. The thing you got to watch out for probably is board wipe. But, with all of the flashing going on, as long as you keep a couple guys in your hand when you don't really need more than 3 or 4 out, yeah, if they wipe the board, you start flashing dudes out and coming after them. The money ball will take care of the rest. So, yeah, I think this was a nice competitive deck. Was it fun? Yeah, absolutely it was fun. Why? Because it was an aggro deck. I mean, 1, 2, 3, that's the vast majority of your cards all right in here. Technically, this guy who's a 5 will cost you a lot less than a 5, usually 3 or so, to be able to play. His impact is fantastic. Plus, I'm surprising he's not flying. He looks like he should be flying, but these little Choco birds don't seem to fly. He comes out as a 4/3, which is pretty strong for this deck. You got the pumps from the stupid mouse right there. I don't like the fact that that's weird when you play with Duskmourn. Like when you're playing with, rabbits, you end up putting out the frog, which bumps up all the rabbits. Now we're playing with birds. We're playing with the rabbit. It's kind of weird. We have to insert one of a weird type to pump up all these extra tribal decks up. But it's nice because he gives all of the birds and the mice +1/+1 plus Popo. And whenever you play it, you get to scry a little bit. He's got a ton of great value to it. He's just not as good as Aven Interrupter. He's definitely what am I trying to say? There's a term for it. Honorable mention. There you go. He's an honorable mention. All right, so lastly, was this deck interesting? Absolutely. Why was it interesting? Because it was tribal. That was the big thing to me. It used to be that, was this deck a good tribal deck? And, then you stop playing tribals and you have to come up with another category. I called it interesting. Tribal decks to me are almost always interesting. I love seeing the synergy between good tribal decks. Yeah, this one did well. There wasn't too much synergy between them. Mostly it was the mouse synergizing with everything. I did like the fact that this guy comes out who's a human bird and then uses them to do all that super hunting ability where they all just shoot at one target at the same time. That was super cool. But yeah, they're also playing brand new cards, all these stuff from Final Fantasy, which is weird because I think the art is dumb on a lot of these things. I'm not a big fan of anime. I think I'm too old for that stuff. But on the other hand, the mechanics, the cards themselves have been pretty choice, pretty good. So I really dug it. I thought it was an interesting deck. I thought it was definitely the way to go. All right, so let's add this up. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was this deck fun? Yeah, absolutely. And lastly, was this deck interesting? And I only have to say to that is totes my goats. Totes my goats. All right, so adding that all together, that makes this into an A+ deck. And as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I'd highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, screw you guys, I'm going home. Bye.